Shalom, shalom, Israel. Lord willing, Lord willing, this is edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world instantly calls Jesus Christ. And double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who will rule the world through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put it on their spirit to be sincere and to endure. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered in four corners of the earth, teaching His word and believing His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put it on your spirit to be sincere and to endure in this thing. Shalom, shalom to the Akwathim that are married and single, that are believers of His word. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put it on your spirit to pursue, to be a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. Just to continue the motion into going back to the basics. Did my little reading, my little start pack reading for the day, and I came across this precept, and it just hit me because, you know, this is something real. This goes into, Israel will be scattered. So we'll just bring it out, and Lord willing, we can line up, some precepts with it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 63 to 64. And what I'll actually do too is I'll even read these verses in the NLT too. There's always, man, I just like to get hit, with these scriptures because there's no way around it, man. There's no way around it. It soaks in. You soak it in, right? So this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 63 and verse 64. I'm reading the KJV first. It says, "It shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you into naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land whether thou goest to possess it. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." It said the Lord will rejoice to destroy you, right? The Lord rejoice, and look at us. We believe in wood and stone, which is like the cross and the Kaaba stone that the Muslims believe in. And I even look at the stones as chakra too, because a lot of us we pray to the stone, you know, instead of praying to the actual creator. I'm not taking away from the stones that's really good for your body, good for the spirit in the house or around you, certain energy, but praising the creation is crazy, right? But we're gonna go into these precepts, right? But let's read this in the NLT. Deuteronomy 28, verse 63 to 64 in the NLT. "Just as Yahweh has found great pleasure in causing you to prosper and multiply, Yahweh will find pleasure in destroying you." So the Lord had pleasure in making us prosper and multiply. And He's gonna have pleasure in destroying us. Right? So this, us being crackheads, hoes, whores, the brother Yarmayan, the captain of my camp, he was going into, basically, we're not even in time for brothers to look for wives to have, to build up, you know, because a lot of women are a distraction. So, sift your ass out the truth, and you won't even notice it, because you're blinded by your actions. You know, it's like the ones that actually got it. We're lucky, but you got to think, if the household is not in order, that's a form of the Lord destroying us, man. Because verse 54 in Deuteronomy 28 and 64 show you we have an evil eye towards our brother, and the women have an evil eye towards her husband and the children, just like the men have an evil eye towards their children, that we have children and then don't want to be in their lives. You know, you got a grudge. You messing up my dreams and my goals. And even most of us that don't have kids and we got those goals, we still don't even freaking reach them. You know, but the Lord said He's gonna have pleasure in destroying us. You know, we're buying cigarettes and on the pack it says it causes cancer. The Lord is a joint. The Lord has pleasure in this. Us, we're falling back into the familiar LGB spirit. The gay spirit, and that was part of destroying our nation. And the Lord is only bringing the true 2/3 to that. For you to sink into it. A lot of us came from Christianity, and that was destroying us. Now, technically, a Christian a Christian in Christianity is not going to be saved. It's the ones that come out of the system, spiritually and mentally. That's physically walking, right? So saying it again, just as Yahweh has found great pleasure in causing you to prosper and multiply, Yahweh will find pleasure in destroying you. You will be torn from the land you are about to enter and occupy, right? You will be torn from the land. When you go into 2nd Esdras, the 14th chapter, it shows you that Yahweh Shem Shai, everything He has given us, He took it from us. We're losers in this case. Everything the Lord has given us, He took it back. That's what you call blue trade back. He took that back. But He's gonna give it back to us. Verse 64, it says, "For Yahweh will scatter you among all the nations, from one end of the earth to the other. There will worship, there you will worship foreign gods that neither nor your ancestors have known, gods made with wood and stone." So you got to think, this was speaking of a new age, and we're in a new age where we're not even worshiping the old things. And some of the old things are the new things now, just a new name and a new way to worship it, right? But it was one joint. What it said, yeah, scatter you among all nations from one end of the earth. Now back then, rulership was on that side. You had Egypt ruling with how much that they ruled, but then you had the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Persian Medes, the Greeks, the Rome. They didn't rule from one end of the earth to the next. And look at this rulership. The whole earth of what the Lord allowed man to explore is ruled. Everything is in the hands of the oppressor in this day age. That's why America is the biggest empire. But technically, the biggest empire, the biggest rulership, the biggest money melting pot, the elites made. This is the biggest rulership. Because if they're ruling America and not living in America, this is a big rulership. Because most brothers back then was ruling in maybe Mesopotamia, and they're ruling all the way Macedonia. Mesopotamia is far away from Macedonia, but that's where the extended empire is. This empire, their empire extends all, like everything in the ocean, in the skies, even if you want to say space, if you could go, but space station and land, they own all of it. It make you think everything is divided, but they own all of it. If you can't leave a place without just saying I'm about to leave, I want to get on the airplane, You gotta have permission. Because if you go to a airplane facility and you got a felony or a certain background, they not letting you on that flight. We're conquered. In order to buy and sell, you have to use the conqueror of that country or place money. You know, everybody is under the system of the elite. Whatever the elite system is, everybody is under that. Everybody. You know. So let's get some precepts. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 9, laming off of verse 63. It says, "And Yahweh thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thy hand, in the fruit of thy body, in the fruit of thy cattle, in the fruit of thy land, for good. For Yahweh will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers." Now, this is through the spirit of prophecy that, the children of Israel, when we come back and the Lord allow us to understand what's actually going on, this is why the elect on this side can't wait, man. You know, we're going to be at peace with our Lord. This is why brothers they're antsy to do a video, you know, because it's new real sheep coming in this thing. Every time a nigga getting a job or a child being born in this world, know that the elect is being born back in this truth, you know, because you could be 34, don't know nothing. You turn 35, and that might be the mark that the Lord scheduled. Yup, he's going to be filled with the truth because this is somebody that's going to be faithful. And you turn 35, and that year, slowly and surely, you'll come in this truth, right? So we desire this, man, right? That the Lord make us plenteous. This is why the work that you do for Yahweh Shema Shai will not go on in vain, right? It will be counted for, in better words. Jeremiah 32, verse 41. This is what it reads. Yeah, I rejoice over them to do them good. I will plant them in this land assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. Right? The Lord planted us back then in that land. But then the Lord is gonna plant us 10 toes down in our land, because that was our heritage, that was our portion, that was our lot, that's our possession, that land, you know. And all nations had a lot. They had their portion. It's just like when you look at the show, The Last Airbender, the Avatar, when you see the earth land, the fire land. If we look at it as a whole, it's divided from one another. The air kingdom, the earth, the fire, water, they're all separated from each other. All nations, it was in order. The Lord is gonna plant us back in our lot. He's gonna plant us back in our true vineyard. He's gonna place us back in our high mountain. You know. I'm gonna go to Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 26. I also will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. Because when we go back to Deuteronomy chapter 28:63, what he said, Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you not. You know, the Lord laughed at our fall because he knew what was gonna happen. You know, and through us, now that we come in this knowledge, it's like a dang. You like when you realize you in trouble, or when you in trouble and you getting a butt whipping. That's why a lot of us we cry more, because now we in trouble. Like my daughter, she'll cry. You the one that did it. Nobody hit you, and now she in trouble because she got caught. She crying because she got caught. You know, in Israel now, when we hear these words, and it really hits you in your mind, it's like, damn. And Lord willing, If the motivation to drive is still on. When I get done with this, we're gonna get back on again on the 716 page, and we can get into the Matthew chapter 21. The brothers inspired me in GMS Rochester, you know, and me and Asher before when I got into town. I mean, when we got into the falls, we was speaking of wisdom, the truth, and I had kept bringing up because of the brother in ISUPK told me and my brothers and GMS that we're gospelites because we're always in the gospel. And as soon as I got home, the brothers in GMS Rochester was getting into let's have a red letter conversation, and it was going into Yahushai. So I'm really inspired to get into more Yahushai, you know. So the Lord laughing at our fall, we fell, and every day when you see dumb shit, when you see Jake asking for $1 and they not asking for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, when you see sisters half naked looking like slave, yeah, they're just a nut, right? But that's the Lord laughing because the beauty of Israel is gone, that a woman secretive, her being secretive or secure is not beauty anymore. It don't make it mysterious. Now, to really make sure you're beautiful, everybody has to see it. Then if you have a husband, you still want it to be seen so you can still look good, so you can still say that you still got that. When you see heads turning, eyes looking, niggas driving, they get in a car crash, most women feel good off of that. They might not even, they don't want that man, but the feeling of knowing that I still am attractive. The Lord is laughing at that. Our women lost it. The order of man just allowing their women just to do things like that shows that we lost it. Especially if a man don't have his order, his house in check, damn near his own self, like how we supposed to think. Most brothers is living for their wives. They don't. Most men don't know how to think for themselves, or how to be men. Right? The Lord is laughing at that. And that even backs up to show with the brother Yarmayan going into. A lot of brothers fall because of a woman. If you fell, the Lord allowed it to happen. And he's laughing because us men is supposed to uphold a standard, a spiritual stature, and a physical stature, as men. But if you're men of the Lord, your stature is supposed to be way different. And when you're just a regular man, your stature is not valuable. Like when women want a high value man, what the hell is a high value man if you ain't talking about a man of the Lord? A man that has integrity for his life. A man that's about Yahweh Shema Shai has real integrity for his life. He really wants to live if he's about Yahweh Shema Shai. When we're not about Yahweh Shema Shai, that's our fall. I will rejoice over you to destroy you. When we're not about, especially when Yarmayan went over, if we're not about wisdom of Solomon 9:6, you are regarded as nothing. You are destroyed without the wisdom of the Most High. That right there is plain, right? Let's go to Isaiah 1:24. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 24. It says, "Therefore saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my enemies." Right? If we talk about Israel in this Isaiah 28, chapter 28, verse 63 and 64, that shows you the wicked Israel are enemies to the Lord. Yes, we have other adversaries. Yahweh has other adversaries, especially Amalek, because the Lord, Israel always went to war. The Most High always went to war with Amalek, right? But let's talk about an inside man. You like is enemies in companies that could be an inside man. The Most High have enemies in his inside business, his inside church, his inside tabernacle, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. He has enemies. The 2/3 are they're betraying Yahweh Shema Shai, just like Judas, choosing money over the Lord, choosing fame, sex. Some women really want money and they'll defile themselves even more by getting destroyed. And they say there's no attachments. Yeah, I mean, you just working for sex. You basically getting pleased just to get paid. Where when you look at society like 50, like window shopping, we are lost. When you know all the pros to Yahweh Shemal Shai and all the cons to the world, when you look at our community as men and women and children, we lost it. And there's only a few. Like if this was really the Matrix, or like if this was like what is it? A heat sensor. And say if the heat sensor was people that's on fire or sincere or believers of the Lord, any of those titles, they would glow like the body warmth temperature. You would see a lot of dead, because you would be like, yo, I think I see something moving, but I don't know what it is. It's a lot of dead people in this world, because Yahweh Shema Shai is not abiding in them, right? So he says, I will ease me of my adversaries and avenge me of my adversaries. Why? Because he's going to destroy a handful, many. He's going to destroy many Israelites, many adversaries in our nations. He is going to destroy. Hey, and that helps with Matthew 22, Matthew 21. You know, he's going to kill some of the people that killed the servant and killed the householder's son. The householder is really the Most High. The Most High is even a husbandman when you go to St. John chapter 15, verse 1. Right? But yeah, let's go to Jeremiah. Salaki. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 12 and 14. Thus saith Yahweh against all my evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. Right? So like, yeah, where is that verse again? I'm going to read this in the NLT, right? It says, now this is what Yahweh says. I will uproot from their land all evil nations, reaching out for the possession I gave my people Israel. And I will uproot Judah from among them, right? So Yahweh Shema Shai is going to uproot out of our land all evil nations reaching out to possess, right? But when we see it says, ye shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess. And how I look at this in, in a deeper form, because if all these people, we got other nations in Israel. When you go back to Judges chapter 3, the Lord still left certain nations in the midst of Israel to approve them. And then, of course, they multiplied and grew. But when we really think about it, Israel became like these nations around them. So when you go back to Deuteronomy 28:64, reading the bottom part, but I read the whole thing, it says, and it shall come to pass that as Yahweh rejoiced over you, to do you good and to multiply you, so Yahweh will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked out from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. Right? So the land that you are going to possess, you're gonna be plucked out of it. And then when we even look at Hosea, when we look at that the Lord is calling them not a people, right? Even in then, we had an example of Israel being Gentiles, right? We'll fully see the Gentile effect when we get Hellenized in the Greek captivity. But being being a Gentile don't take for us to be Hellenized. We can just automatically walk it, because look at us in America. A lot of us don't even know what Hellenized is, Hellenization. But when you look at us saying we're moving like Americans, want to be Americans, that would prove to show you being Hellenized is real. You could Hellenize somebody in a nice way and in a wicked way. Because even Alexander the Great, he was trying to Hellenized people by pushing his culture. Like, hey, this is the Greek culture, this is the Greek language. You should practice it. Do it. He was just promoting it. He was pushing it out. It was popular. When he died, Antiochus Epiphanes enforced it. He was pushing it hard. It's either this way or no way. Because when you go later on in the first chapter of Maccabees, Antiochus said he made a decree that everybody leave their laws. Now the other nations around about, the heathen agreed to it. Talking about the nations, and some of the Israelites consented to the ways. Now you see how that happened in the Greek captivity, but if it ain't nothing new under the sun, we free willingly did it back then, right? So when we read it in Jeremiah, this is Israel, right? But yeah, we will look at it as wicked people of the land, because these wicked nations are wicked neighbors. But when we go into Sirach 25:1, it's three things that the Lord loveth. The unity of brothers, the love of neighbors, and when a husband and a wife agrees. What's the neighbor? Your neighboring tribes. Not the love of neighbors that you loving these other nations. The Lord already tell us to be at peace with all men. Especially if you're a ruler, you could be at peace with somebody and don't like them as a nation. Shit, you could not like a nation and be like, man, I still lay with that girl. I'm talking about the men, not the women, right? You can still not like somebody, just like the Lord. He created these nations, but yes, he hate them. He has a strong, perfect hatred for them. But if he created them, it's a love for the creation, because he created them for a purpose. But don't let it go over your head, right? I don't want nothing to go over your head, right? Some of y'all it will. This is Isaiah 45. This is closing out Deuteronomy 28, verse 63. Isaiah chapter 45, reading verse 4. Should I start at this one? I'll start at verse 3. It says, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, Yahweh, which called thee by thy name, am the power of Israel. And that's another thing. A lot of us, we know the side of sin. We know how to displease Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's why in the kingdom, we're gonna stay far away from that, because we know what the Lord don't like. Seeing sin, is seeing how low the Lord puts us. We got to see the Lord destroy us as a nation, let alone feed us with the foul food. And yeah, we want to be a vegan and change the way we eat, but that don't stop from the system that they've been feeding you from generation to generation. The air that you breathe and all those things, that especially when we get this glorified body, we'll understand all the depths of our wickedness and even be more sorrowful but more thankful, for that experience. But to be able now to not want to, you're not going to want to ever sin. This little time, really think about it. The 7 days that you see in Genesis was really 7,000. The time that Yahweh Shai left this earth is 2,000 years ago. Really 2 days. And he said he's coming quickly. Last night I'm like, yo, he did. That really would be 2 days. He died, like what? He rose, he died and rose the third day. So I started thinking, so if we make it to 3,000, the year 3,000, technically Yahweh Shai been gone 3 days. And then the scriptures say that he comes quickly, he comes speedily. So when you think about it, he's gonna come faster than he did when he died when he was dead for 3 days and he rose. He's gonna come sooner than that. And Yahweh Shai been gone for 2,000 years, our time. In the Lord's time, it was only 2 days Yahweh Shai been gone from us. So when you look at these scriptures, this has only just been for Yahweh Shai time, you got to think about BC. He all the way in AD. I think he was born between 4 BC and 6 BC, between that time, around those times. So, what, 1,000 years? Because you got to think, 14 generations from Abraham to David, David to the Babylon exile, and the exile to Yahushai is 14 generations. You know, and that could have been a whole minute. That could have, to the Lord, that could have been a whole day of us, in the world doing bullshit. You know, but let's keep on going. Verse 4, it says, "For Jacob my servant's sake and Israel my elect, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known me." We have not known Yahweh Shem Shai on this side because the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai been hidden, you know, and the Lord had to reveal it to us. Like now we know the Lord. Each captivity we started to lose the Lord even more, and look where we at now, where the name is not in remembrance. You got people calling him Yehuda Yeshuda, and we were all in a certain point in this thing, and we were lost in the sauce. I gotta call a spade a spade. I knew of the truth, but I wasn't fully in this. The way I was delivering the word, knowing the process of knowing the reading, I wasn't even doing that. I'm still trying to get better with making sure I read. Whatever I do, if I'm going out to eat, if I'm enjoying myself, if I'm with my brothers, if I did something with my wives, if I did something for my wives, if I did something for my kids, I try to at least get in there and get a read in it. A chapter, two, if it's three, if it's four, if it's 5 chapters, or I'm getting a lesson, or I'm going to pray, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to watch a video, or I'm going to talk to my brothers before I go do anything. We didn't know the Lord. I just got to get something. I gotta get something. I got to go to Baruch because, you know, it's a privilege to be in this thing now and to be praising the Lord. A lot of our forefathers was praising the Lord and being sincere. When I was in church, I wasn't being sincere. Now that I know, and this goes back to what Asher wanted to go into at camp, because of the truth. The truth being revealed to us, we must be thankful. You must be thankful that the truth was revealed to you. Now, this is Maccabees chapter 2, and I'm going to read verse 30. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." And when we go back to Deuteronomy 28 and 63 and 64, this is all about Israel will be scattered. In all the places where we're scattered, some of us are remembering who we are. And it's so many of us, a lot of us haven't searched this whole earth to look for Israel. The major prophecy of everybody knowing the truth, Salaki, is America. While we in America, we worried about everybody in the world. That major prophecy of especially total destruction is America. Everybody in America must at least this word has to reach 4 corners of America. It has to. Because this is the biggest captivity. This is the branch. This is the olive branch. But it is children of Israel scattered everywhere else that's slowly getting into it. They might not get to the heights of men that's in America. You got brothers in the UK that's understanding the truth. And guess what? They're prophesying of America being destroyed. They're in UK. UK is in Europe. They're prophesying about the elect getting saved out of there. And some of those elect men that's in all these other countries, they're going sincere and hard for the Lord, just like the men that's in America. They're working with the same spirit, just like the ones that's in America. So in the land of our captivity, we are remembering. When we didn't remember, we were stiff-necked. The Spirit was trying to give you signs. We just didn't know. Even the Lord was giving you signs when he was allowing somebody to lie and teach you a lie right in your face. Verse 31, it says, and shall know that I am the Lord their power, for I will give them a heart and ears to hear. When we look at Ezekiel 36, in the kingdom, he'll give us a new heart and new ears to hear. But before we get the kingdom, the Lord is making you a new heart, a new mind. Because in order to grasp these lessons, these breakdowns, and when to read and do it daily, to always have it in your heart daily to endure, the Lord had to put a new heart in you. Ephesians 4. Leave the former conversations, the old man. Put on the new man. You know, when you want this truth and get in this truth, you have to rip off layer each time. But that's the heart that's in you. That's that new heart that's like, oh, I got to do better. Oh, I got to do better. Oh, I'm not good enough. I got to do better. That's the new heart in you. Before, man, we was thinking we was the shit. We untouchable. We wasn't even thinking about the Lord. Yeah, God is good. We was one of them, bro. We was one of them. You know? Verse 32, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity and think upon my name. In the land of our captivity, the little that we do here is enough. We're praying. We need to do more, but I'm just saying it's enough. Niggas thinking that they gotta be a millionaire to impress the Lord. You niggas is lost. You niggas. That $1 million don't make the Lord happy. Having 20 women is not about making it happen. It's about us knowing Yahweh Shema Shai, having faith in him. Now, hey, I give all cahoodles to any brother that has a household like that. Women decked out and the children, and they in this truth. All praises. Even if you got one. But this is about us coming back to the truth. For the single men, the married men, this even lost brothers. This is about us coming back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. Knowing our place. Knowing our purpose is to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai and serve our people if that spirit is upon you, to be that servant, because that servant is going to be a teacher. He's going to be feeding his people. We are meant to be servants for our nation, servants for the Lord. So we should be praising Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Brothers came from out of town to come back to town thinking it was going to be an enjoyment. Yeah, it's an enjoyment. But you niggas don't know. We just seen an eclipse. You don't understand what's really going on in the masses. 2024 just started off with a banger. You don't know. And this is why I'm happy, because the news dude did say, and they showed it was going to be clear. Soon as brothers start saying, yeah, we coming in this town, then we got closer to that time. Look at it's moogie, whatever it's looking. And then when them brothers leave, it's going to be nice and clear, because you niggas don't know what's going on. It's sisters mad on, man, it's supposed to be nice outside. I want to put my hot girl summer outfit on. You niggas, y'all lost, and this is how you know. That eclipse wasn't for none of y'all. That was to make the elect feel warm inside, let alone get yo, the Lord is about to come. This is exciting, but it's terrible. It's scary too, because you don't know if you are that number. So you're gonna, through the spirit, is gonna catch you moving in this motion. You know, that's why I'm glad that the Lord, you know, have some brothers getting back into the basics, because there's gonna be some new members coming. There's gonna be some that where it's some of us that's already in the truth, and we need to, you know, to work on our faith more. The Lord will cause you to watch a brother getting into the basics, getting into marriage, getting into the law, getting into us leaving Egypt, how he raised up Moses, symbolically how he raised up Yahushua, how he raised up the men of the Lord, right? Brothers is getting into the basics. Then you're going to get more hungry. You're going to want the meat. You're going to want leftovers. Then you're going to want a whole meal. Right? Praising the Lord. Verse 33, and return from the stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahweh Shema Shai. How can we remember the sins of our fathers? By reading, by counting the history, by us reading, tracing back our steps. If you're not drawn to reading, drawn to hearing the word, by being edified, built up into the knowledge and understand what happened, the Lord not dealing with you. Now, some of us got, the Lord allowed spirits to minister to you. I got to call it what it is. If you're saying you're an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, a spirit ministered to you to watch a YouTube video, even if you took it wrong, Because you got to think, it's more wicked teachers than righteous teachers. It was about 450 teachers of Baal, right? It's more wicked leaders of Satan than it is leaders for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For real. This is why it's a beautiful thing. The Lord still got this system. Niggas think just because now they know it's over. No. The Lord is laughing at that he destroyed us. He praised. He had pleasure that he destroyed us. But you got to understand his pleasure. It's not a human pleasure. He is the creator. His creations is not following him. Like, he's mad. It's just like a mother and a father. We mad as hell. We whooping you. But we actually happy. Like, we go get that belt. We get it so quick. If they didn't want to really whoop you, don't you know they wouldn't do it? They wouldn't even go grab it. Fuck it, I don't even. And if somebody else they know was about to whoop you, no, don't even do it. That's how you know somebody don't want to whoop you, when they stop somebody from whooping you. Now they be like, oh, if they don't get the belt, nah, it's another way. They'll have somebody else whoop your ass. And if they stop somebody else from whooping you, that means they don't even want to whoop you. You know? The Lord don't want to whoop you, but he's gonna do it. Because then if he don't whoop us and correct us at a creation, when we grow in our stature in the spirit, we're going to be just like the Most High. When our kids do wrong, just let them do what they do. That's why some of our brothers and sisters don't have the spirit of the Lord, because they allow their kids just to do anything. Their kids to talk to them a certain way. My kids shouldn't be talking back to me or their mothers. You know? The same words that you just spoke back to your parent, I will smack them right back in your mouth. And what do you think the Lord did? Why you think you live in Lamberts? I might look fly in this video. You niggas. The Lord made that he spanned out this captivity for us, man. Esau didn't do shit. We didn't build we didn't do nothing. The Lord orchestrated all of this, man. He knew that you was gonna be in this. He knew that you was gonna drink shit shower water that cycles through your whole house. He knew it. He knew you niggas was gonna roll up blunts and we was gonna smoke Zaza. He seen that we was gonna go to a place and they gonna be, oh, my people gonna be crackheads, heroin addicts, porn stars, slut bucket whores. We was whores back then. We became whore buckets. Now it's cool to be whores. That's crazy. Back then you were shunned. Now you're cool to be a whore. Cool to be. This one lady is famous now because she had her son be her director. He was watching his mother get fucked by excuse my language, I'm sorry. And these were Israelites. This man got to see his mom get thrashed. Excuse my language, I am so sorry, but that's how you know the Lord destroyed us, man. He broke us down, you know. Oh, praises, man. And this is why everything I just said, all through our wicked deeds, now we get to know our fathers, man. Because they did these same acts in another time, in another fashion, another way. Right? Now back to Deuteronomy 28, reading 64, and then we'll go to the precepts. It says, Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right? So now we go into some new gods. But ain't nothing new under the sun. You know? That's why these gods are the same gods of old. They just have a new name. You know, simple. Oh, then that's new, brother. To you, it might be new. Like, is it new now? We're not dressing the same way, but don't we still wear clothes? You know? And guess what? You can still go find out what an ancient garment or a robe is, and you can make an ancient garment in a robe. But brothers wasn't just walking around with t-shirts. Now, unless we was real servants and, you know, your captive wanted you to dress a certain way, yeah. But as natural, wearing sackcloth, we were wearing different fabric, and it was good for our skin, the vibration. You know, this material is all because, like in the basics, you know, in the law, we serve our enemies in naked hunger and thirst, right? So we go into Leviticus chapter 26, and we're going to read verse 33. This Leviticus chapter 26, verse 33. And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste. You know, all nations that dealt with us, yes, they used the sword. But then, if you know the basics, Lord willing, we can get into that eventually too. What was Esau blessed with? Esau was blessed with the sword, you know, and what was Israel was drawn out of their land with swords. When you remember, what is it? Let me see the picture. Where was that? Salaki. Yep, 1948. Them mother suckers went right in our land, right? Then you even got when you look at Obadiah, even in the prologues, but if you know about Edom, Edom went into our land and they went through searching, looking to see if they find gold, but they found refugees. And they took those refugees back to Babylon. Like, hey, you forgot? Hey, these people, I found these people left over. And you gotta think. If Limitations chapter 5 is telling you that they ravished the slaves, I mean the women, they ravished the women in Jerusalem and ravished the maids in Judah, in the beds, in your house. You gotta think, if Esau found some of the refugees, what did they do? Because Limitations is going into like like the Babylonians, right? Or the time that, when the Babylonians or the Chaldeans was going in our land, right, and just taking us. But then you got other instance when any nation went into our land, when they were taking and breaking shit and ravishing through people's houses. They was taking our women and raping them. And to conquer people, that's what you would do. A lot of you would kill the men, kill the boys, so the seed wouldn't be carried. Maybe you'll carry the son because you can manipulate them to move how you want. And then the women and the daughters, unless that woman had children that can remind them of the old father or whatever, mostly the women would be saved for sex and for house duties. So you got to think. Esau touched our women too. You just think they just took them, oh, let's just take them to Babylon. Our women was glistening delicious. They looked beautiful, you know. So they came with the sword. Our history is very beautiful, and yes, it's very gruesome. The American slave trade, that's not the only dirty thing, terrible thing that happened to us. It's history. So we got a whole receipt. This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 26, reading to 28. It says, I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land, whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen. Whether Yahweh shall lead you, and there ye shall serve gods and work of man's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. And a lot of us don't believe in the Lord. And through the smell, I'm at work, I'm like, man, what idols do we? A lot of us have different idols. Like right now, some of these celebrities became your idols. Look at when you go to certain concerts, yo ass want to get in the first row. You looking at them like they're a idol or a god. We got a lot of things that we idolize. Fashion. If you ain't wearing Ralph Lauren, I don't want to hear it. You got brothers out here, I only wear Chanel. You got mad different idols. Of course, the Christianity, you got niggas that don't believe the Christianity a lie, but have a cross on their neck. Man, I still believe in Jesus though. You're an idiot, man. Right? But the Lord said he will leave us few in number. It always been a remnant in the midst of delinquents. When 1,000,000 Israelites flee from Roman persecution, within that million we still had an elite. Even if you was to look at that as the Lord had only left a million, because what happened to the rest? It had to be a lot of Israelites. But you have to think, if it's an elect within this elect on this side, it was an elect during the time of the Roman persecution too. That million, not all of them was fully following and believing in the Lord. Yahushua had 70 disciples. All of them left except for the 12, and one died because he betrayed them. Didn't believe in the Lord. You know? That's why the Lord said he called many, but only a few is gonna cleave and take it. Every day you go outside, you look at this world, this is yours. And we messed up the bag, man. We messed up the bag, and now look how destroyed it is. I'm looking at this water. It looked like boo-boo. It looked like somebody just boo-boo. It looked like everybody boo-booing right now. And it's just, that water don't look like, no, like I would, look, if this whole place was on fire, I'm just dying. Because that water right there don't even look, say it like everything, man. I seen a bird, the bird was so hungry, I guess. Was looking for food. The person flicked a cigarette, the bird looked. Then they thought that was a French fry and ate that mother sucker, man. This place is like so defiled, but we messed up. We effed up the bag. You know, Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. The Lord took it from you and gave it to them, man. You know, that's like the earth. The earth was so vibrant. It's so in motion. The Lord knew we was effing up, and that power, that light started to dim, and he gave it over. And then what he says in 2nd Ezra 5, that, the older the earth get, look at us, our stature. We got shorter, we died at a younger age. But then when the kingdom come, this joint is going to be forever. He's going to reboot it up. But the earth is going to still have its number and age. It's just really, without the right power in, the earth don't really get its real energy. It's not getting its real power because the true rulers is not in rulership. I remember an old video. I said this before, but I want to say it's better for me now because I get to hear one of the elders saying it, and it makes me feel like I am saying the same thing he's saying. So it gave me confirmation before that I was speaking the same thing. But I had said this way back, but an elder said it too, where they talk about the ice age and all of that. He said, when you look at the ice age, huge weather conditions, that the earth is crying out, man. Ever since we fell out of order, the whole earth cried. You got to think, when Moses came down and we sinned, the Lord made the earth open up. Hey, when Yahweh Shai, the earth, like, you got to think, when huge events, especially dealing with Israel, the earth makes a reaction. With these earthquakes, now that the Lord is visiting the earth, what will cause them? Because the Lord is letting his elect know, I'm here. Because nobody in the earth would know the Lord is visiting the earth if none of us went in the scriptures. If the scriptures wasn't being told, we would have never knew. But now when you hear like the thunder, the storms, the earthquakes, the fires in places, if you're in the spirit and you're deep, you know the Lord is mad. I don't want to mess it up yet, but I'm tearing it up. I'm gonna throw this at the wall. Well, why don't you throw your game? I don't want to throw that, but I'm gonna throw this glass. I'm gonna destroy the whole house. You got women that slash your damn tire. Like, I watched the video. It's crazy. I watched the video last night, and the Jake dude and girl was fighting, literally blows. He throwing her to the pole, throwing her on the ground. She pulling his hair, hitting him in the jaw, bing, bing, bing. And then right at the end, they get right back in the car and hug each other. The Lord tearing out, he's gonna tear our ass up. And then that elect, the Lord is just gonna hug, man, because he found faith in that just a few. And the Lord symbolically is doing the same thing. What he did with in the time of Noah. He's gonna save a few to create the many. I like that. He's gonna save the few to create the many. All right. So let's get another precept. Let's get Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 8. It says, remember, I beseech thee, the word that thou commandest thy servant Moses, saying, if ye transgress, I will scatter you abroad among the nations. Yo, the more that we know about Yahweh Shem Al Shai, when you actually get into like reading and you taking it, some of us, like my wife, she cry, and I'm like, damn, I wish maybe I'm not serious about it. I try to be serious, I try to be strong, but then I have my moments where I think and be like, dang, and to know I'm all the way, to know that this is not my country, this is not mine, even though my brothers found it first, this is not my country, right? The Lord gave me my possession, and I never even seen that. For me to claim America is mine or Canada is mine, and He gave us our possession before, the whole world is ours, but I never seen the hallowed land, you know, and we're over here. You got people in Canada. I'm looking at Canada right now. That's the border over there. Across from me is crossing, getting to another country. And our people over there. Our people in France. Our people in ATL. They're in every city in the United States. You know, they're in Toronto. They're in Australia. That little sign, wherever you at, and we're not together as a wholesome. However many it is of us, all together. Not scatter, all together. That right there just lets you know, like, damn, we really fucked up. And it's not about just one person. The Lord will look at all of us as one person as a whole, you know. And this is crazy now that I'm bringing this out, because we in the basic, and brothers just brought this out last night, and they thinking that this is Yahushai, but it's really Israel. I didn't want to, but I have to. You know, but I'm going to read the two verses. This is Revelations chapter 21, verse 9 and 10. It says, that there came unto me one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, come hither. I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. Right? And it's an angel showing him these things, showing John the Revelator these things. And he said, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. Who's the Lamb? Yahushai, and his wife is the bride. Who is the bride? The 12 tribes of Israel. Now, verse 10 is where they think that this is Yahushai, but it just showed you that this angel was going to show John the Revelator the bride of the Lamb. Verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain. Right? Israel is we're scattered as a nation. When we're together as a unit, we're a great and high mountain. You know, let alone the high mountain is a stature for power. That's how we're gonna look when we get into our position. We're gonna be a high tower, all because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We are authority when it comes to the earth. Under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, we are authority. The elect we are the reflection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai on this side. He created us to be a power. He created us to be gods. He created us to rule, you know? So he says, he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from the Most High. Because First Thessalonians chapter 4, we went up to the Lord for a appointed time. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 51 to 54, and we got that incorruptible body. We are that great city, and this is just the basic. The Lord scattered us, so he has to gather us, right? Y'all hearing about the scatter part, but I didn't tap in to us coming together. Us coming together is a great city. We're considered wives to the Lord. But really, when you go to Hosea, we're two sisters, two wives. The Lord is, he's polygynous, right? But then eventually these two sticks become one. In the kingdom, we're going to be one wife, right? That's why I said the Lord penalizes us all as one, you know? And like a Khan, one committed a sin, but he afflicted all, he cursed all Israel, you know? Not for one man Yahushai died for. Yahushai died for the whole nation. So he put all our sins on Yahushua. All our sins. That's why when the Lord come back and get us, we're going to be one. Right? And I just want to show that, Israel is that city. This is Isaiah chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, "But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, which we brought out in Deuteronomy." It says, "For the mouth of Yahweh have spoken it." And from Deuteronomy 28, 63, 64, us being scattered, we got scattered by the sword. They had to use a sword. They had to use a weapon. They intimidated us and gathered us because we refused to follow the Lord. And it didn't just happen off a word of mouth. It was right in it was right in our heart. Not the thing beaten, but it was right in our heart. Verse 21, it says, "How is the faithful city become a harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it, but now murderers." That great high mountain, that great city that we read in Revelations 21 is the faithful city of Yasharalem. It's the 12 tribes of Israel. And when it says it became murders, yes, the whole 12 tribes, he was bodying people. But let's go into like leaders, like Pharisees and Sadducees. They was killing prophets. Let's go into the time of Elijah. You had Israelites allowing this freaking girl Jezebel to go hunt Israelites. That's why Obadiah hid 400 prophets in a cave. So you got to understand, we are a faithful city that became a harlot. We're whores, right? I think it's something in Limitations in the beginning. They say something like that, I think. Let me not be mistaken. Is this it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I'm going to read this one in the NLT, right? Because there's certain words I want to just get. This is Limitations chapter... That was the wrong book. Limitations chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "Jerusalem, once so full of people, is now deserted. She who was once great among the nation now sits alone like a widow. Once the queen of the earth, because she's the mother of us all. Jerusalem is the mother of us all. And queen, queen is like the top position on the chessboard. So when he says the queen of us all, is because Jerusalem as a whole, we are the head power of the whole earth. I'm breaking it down because when you look in the chessboard, it's really the king. But who does all the moves? Who has basically moving power to do anything? The queen. The queen has the moving power. So Israel is never a queen because the queen, when you translate it back to its original word, it means whore. And technically Israel is a whore. So we could really say princess, but to break it down as in this other translation, why would it say queen? Because when you read in the KJV, it says, "How doeth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How is she become a widow? She that was great among the nation and princess among the providence." Right? So this shows you the Lord calls Israel a princess. But right here for the translation, queen, to show you queen is a power position. And on the chessboard, the queen could do anything. So the power that Israel had, especially in the time of David and Solomon, nobody was fucking with us. Let alone we had peace, especially in the time of Solomon. No war. And let alone the lower ranked Israelites look like high ranked Israelites. You know what I mean? So in the time when Yahushua come, what we read in Revelations 21, when we are that great and high mountain, we're gonna be back being that princess city, that queen city of power under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Now, read it again in the NLT, Limitations 1 and 1. Jerusalem once so full of people is now deserted. She who was once great among the nation now sits alone like a widow. Once the queen of all the earth, she is now a slave. When you go into Jeremiah, what do we say? Is Israel a homeborn slave? No, Israel is not a homeborn slave. Israel had to make actions to become a slave. So the Lord sold us to the nations, right? And that shows you when you read Deuteronomy 28 and then you get into the precepts, which you need, it helps you understand why we were scattered. So let's get that. Let's not play around with the food. This is Baruch chapter 4 and reading starting at verse 6. It says, ye were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because ye moved the Most High to wrath. You were delivered unto your enemies, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. We started to believing into false gods, the idols. You see what it says, wood and stone in Deuteronomy 28. You see how the scriptures is just lining up? The Lord is just he's telling you, I did it. You and these nations, yeah, they got you. Like Nathan Rothschild, he said, man, I don't care what puppet the country put in there, but whoever controls the money is the real ruler. Those are puppets, so that shows you the puppets have to blend in. They distract you from knowing who the top dog. That's why the top dog don't show himself, right? And so the Most High, he telling you, I'm the one that put you in captivity. So these puppets that's ruling over you, yeah, they ruling, but I'm the real go-to. I control the left and the right side of me. And I persuade, I tell the right side, hey, I need you to go do this, go fill them up with the spirit. And the left side, hey, can anybody persuade this person to believe a lie? Or can you persuade him to believe the truth? He ignorant, he don't believe in the truth, persuade him to believe in the truth. So the right hand side will probably persuade you to believe in the truth. The left side will persuade you to not to believe in the truth. You know? And the Lord sold us to the nations, right? Verse 7, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to the Most High. Ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. We grieved Jerusalem. Yo, just imagine if Jerusalem could talk. Israel, Israel, where are you, Israel? You know, ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. You know, the place is grieved. After we left, it just dried up like a damn raisin through the spirit. Because there's no life controlling it. There's no life ruling that place. It's forceful, turtleneck, non-circumcised mother suckers ruling in that place. You know? Let's go back. Let's get Jeremiah. (16:13). Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not show you favor. And look what the Lord did to the northern kingdom, where he brought, majority of the northern kingdom to the Americas. And then, yeah, they tried to keep the statues, and then they left it and became, rulers of the Mayans, and, they were, Mayans. But they was having different beliefs, different idols. Then some moments you'll be like, oh yeah, they was believing in the Lord. Then they voodoo, making their own sacrifices, killing themselves, killing babies. And the Lord cast us out of our land and put us into other lands through the Spirit. Man's going to the Lord. Your heart device of your ways. The northern kingdom, their heart device, hey, let's remove from them and let's go to a far country so we can keep our statues. Their heart device their ways, but the Lord direct their steps. The northern kingdom came here, but it was all a plan to further it out. In the southern kingdom, with a little remnant of the northern kingdom was still with the southern kingdom, and we was acting wicked over there, while the northern kingdom was over here living it up. And you could tell that they was going off because they had this whole place on lock. I'm looking at Canada right now. The northern kingdom was over there. Canada, that name came from Indians. Manhattan, Massachusetts, Kansas, Illinois, Buffalo, Niagara Falls, all this whole place stems with the northern kingdom, except for the streets, the street names, but the cities, the towns, all of that is symbolic to us, And the Lord brought us far as hell from our place. Then you got Jake that's living in the land of Jerusalem or the outskirts of that, and they can't rule. Your oppressors is ruling that place. Then they're trying to they try to, Israel, they try to make a rule of any type of African Americans or so-called blacks cannot, they're trying to remove them out of, the land of Israel. I don't want to like requote it wrong, but that's how the lady said. And the other video on, with the Gaza, the little war, she said it was because of the she think it was because of the African Americans. She didn't want to say it directly, but she was really talking about us teaching. Because what does a normal African American, what did we do to Israel? We African American, what the hell did we do? We got y'all mother sucking names. What did we do? But they didn't want to say it. Because as soon as you say Hebrew Israelites, you doing what Russia just did. Even though the men of the Lord that's coming in the truth, we knew that they was hiding those pictures. We was talking on the hidden pictures. So now, for the niggas, the Lord, and that's the the brothers bring it out. I give you what? He tell you, he give you one sign, two signs, and the third time, you didn't even recognize it. That was the Lord giving y'all that sign for Putin to come out saying that Jesus is Yahushua is black, but he said Jesus is black, that we should pray to a black, a black savior. That was the Lord doing that in front of you too, because there's nobody is going to be able to die by a nuke not knowing the Lord was trying to show you. Even if you didn't listen, he's going to show you walk past. And that day, the world is going to know. Nobody in this place is not going to know the Hebrew. Everybody's going to know the children of Israel. Everybody. Everybody in their mama. That's why when we go in these scriptures, the Lord is letting you know, I scattered you. And Israel was everywhere. Back then, the law, you couldn't lay with it. You couldn't really be. It was certain heathens you could, and there was some that you can't. It's brothers, we got babies by full Hamites. Because Yahushua is the perfect tabernacle. We don't got no tempo. Everything ain't moved the same. That's why the scriptures gave you the pedigree of the Father. Because the Lord know that we was going to be so far away that we wasn't going to even be able to fully walk in the law. That's why brothers got heathen girls. That's why on this side, if you got a heathen girl and you put a child in her, make sure you doing your due diligence. Maybe she might act a little right and serve you. There's brothers in here that got Edomite wives, and they stay dealing with them, but they not doing feast days with them. They not like teaching them all this and this and that. They keeping them where they keeping them, and they stay just dealing with them. Some brothers probably got a Filipino woman, and she might understand the assignment because he let her know, you a heathen with her. And she like, man, I love you. It's some women out. It was a video when I first came in the truth where an Edomite woman said, I'm a real Edomite. I'm not an Israelite. My people sold these people to the Most High. And so if I can get a position, because I know the children of Israel going to get beamed up out of here. Lord willing, if the Lord see, what I'm doing, maybe he'll let me, preserve me or bring me back, and I could be a servant in my Lord's kingdom. So my Lord is a Israelite. Yeah. And he has a wife, and I serve, and whatever he needs, sex, food, or money, I make sure I help. I don't know what she doing now, but this was like when I first came in this thing, man. The Lord really cast us out of our land and put us in a land that we don't know. And there's other gods you're gonna serve. He told us, and we're living this right now, bro. All praise to the Most High. He's the best book writer, the best author, the best fortune, the best seer known to man. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 9. It says, for lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. Like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. Not one. So you have to know the Lord sift us all out. Israel is everywhere. Everywhere. Wherever somebody's living, Israel is there. Oh, Israel, it's people living in space. I bet you it's a Jake that volunteered. Oh, people going to Iran. It's Israel over there. People living in is Israel over there. They're everywhere. Even some of them little monks is Israel over there, man. Jake is everywhere. You got brothers living in Alaska. They got this thing where you can get paid if you're African American, maybe Latino and Indian, or somebody that has a urban culture background. If you live out there, I think they give you like 5,000 a month, 5,000 a week, or is it 5,000 a month to live in Alaska? It's like a experiment run, something that they doing, right? But Jake is everywhere, and even if it's five Jakes, if Jake not thinking about being single, if he is thinking about single, but he thinking about women, Jake put his seed in one of them, put a seed somewhere. Jake ain't living in no city. He didn't put a seed somewhere. Jake is not in that country. He didn't put a seed nowhere. You know, there's not that many eunuchs. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead thee. Right? Hold on. I want to read that in another translation too. Sometimes you can find some secret codes. Where was we at? 36. Deuteronomy 28, verse 36 in the NLT. Yahweh will exile you and your king to a nation unknown to you. And he did that when we look at the Babylonian captivity, the Persian captivity. We still had rulers. When you look at the Greek captivity, we still had rulers. You still had somebody that was in charge. You had Yahweh Shai speaking to Nicodemus. Nicodemus was an Israelite, the rulers of the Jews. You know, we were still ruling. Not Harai, but we had rulers in charge. So it says Yahweh will exile you and your king to a nation unknown to you and your ancestors. There in exile you will worship the Most High of wood and stone. You will become an object of horror, ridicule, mockery among the nations to which Yahweh sends you. And the Lord got pleasure out of this. How you whip your child, that you have pleasure in whooping them to correct him, the Lord has pleasure in correcting you so that you can get it right. But not all of us is going to get it right. 2/3, they got spoiled and they cleave to it, right? This is why when you go into Maccabees, we consent to some of their ways. And now I ain't gonna lie, that reminds me of what I did when I was in foster care. When my sister, I'm like, maybe if you leave, it might be nicer on us. I just don't want to hop from foster home to foster home. Maybe this foster home would treat me good, and she started abusing me even more the same. You know, and that's just like Israel when we left Egypt. Then we didn't like the wilderness, and we was like, hey, if we go back to Egypt, we can have onions. You see all the food we were eating. So I just say, you know what? How about you go and I stay in the captivity? I mean, I stay in this foster home, knowing she abused us, and then try to make myself feel good. Maybe if you leave and it's less of us, maybe she won't abuse me. And then guess what? Through this, like the scriptures, I had to find out the hard way. I stayed with her. She beat me, abused me with a paddle, a bat, a stitching cord, a TV cord, maybe piss a pint of blood because she hit me in my medulla. Um, and I was wrong. I was wrong to think that if I stay with her, that I probably won't get abused and it'd be better. And I was wrong, you know. And that's like Israel. If we do it our way, we'll just go into 14. We'll just go into 13 other captivities. That Egypt was the biggest learning example for all of us. You know, and we didn't even like really We didn't even really really look at it. We didn't really look, especially with reading. We didn't even look at the Egypt captivity as being uh, a captivity of learning. That was ridiculed. That was like real serious servitude. You know, that was supposed to be like an opening to learn for each captivity that we were in. You know, just off of that alone, right? But that was lesson one. You know, back to the basics. Deuteronomy 28, verse 63 to 64. Israel will be scattered. You know, you got to know that your nation is scattered to know that you are an Israelite. You know, and a lot of people say all people are scattered. When you think about being scattered, you got to know we were taken and then sold. Other people that come out here is either if they're doing it illegal, a real slave trade as a nation. Do I got the picture? Real slavery as a business, and when you look at it, you got to look at it in the spirit, because the slave trade, especially for Israel, was because we rebelled against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So you got to understand, why would a nation even be in America? You know, and other nations is not in America because they sin against the Most High, and the Lord chastising them and then approving them so that they can be of the elect number. No, the nations is here because it helps make it make sense. Because if it was just Israelites here, that would be another way where you can't get it. But the Lord helps us understand these scriptures, that when there's more nations and more people here, we're teaching in the midst of the nations, let alone you get to see when all these other nations came, a lot of them nations that came that looked like Edomites, that looked like Chinese, looked like Africans, some of them were actually really Israelites, you know, because Jake looked like mad different people. You know, you got people coming over the border, people coming from England. It's women that's at my job that came from Ukraine because of that, you know, the war that's going on over there. So you got to think, a lot of people that's coming from Ukraine to live in America, some of them are Israelites. And then you got to think through the spirit, some of them Edomites and some of them Jacobites, you know, Jacobites, that the Lord is bringing to America because of what's going on overseas, or because of war and there's no other place to come. The Lord could be making y'all come to America just to die that last death. A lot of them Edomites that's coming from Ukraine, they can be coming over here for that death because of your past life. You must have had a hand in the portion. The Lord bring you over here. Or the Lord, you could be one of those children of Israel and the Lord bringing you over here, and you could be one of those elect. And you are a true believer. You could be a female or a male and you're a true believer and you get beamed up. You got to look at it, because it is a lot of people coming from overseas to live in America. It's some people that's coming from overseas that don't like, that's coming to America, don't even like America, but they know the money scheme, the living scheme is better, you know. But I forgot, where was I going? Oh yeah, the slave trade. It's gonna be hard for y'all to see it from really before 1619. Before 1619, they was making motions. It probably wasn't as big as it was, but where it says the slave trade from Africa to America, where when it really got established, like you go here, got established, and in order, 1950 all the way to 1860s. But slave trade been going on. But to be established, like the Declaration, the government in America, I'm not going to say fully was established until they really got that Declaration of Independence after those three wars. The French, the Britain, and the Spanish War. That's when America, where the Edomites, the Europeans, established their Americas. And then they try to upgrade it when niggas start getting their rights. But everything is all for them. But this is to show you the slave trade been calculated. And all the people that made money off of it, their families are still living. Their families are still taught on the system. And the banks, the revenue, that money that's bringing in wealth, that all stems from slavery. This is the slave trade, and all of these is still the trade routes for money, for anything that deals with from the slave trade, like the human slave trade. Those same routes is still used for regular trades: oil, oil, cotton, rice, fruit. You know, it's a money thing. You know, and then right under it, what I've been bringing out lately, you see the majority of the banks that we use, they profited with the words that's saying it right here, the red words. What it's saying is that the major corporations you never know profited from slavery. At the bottom of it is mostly like banks, like main banks, top banks, private banks, side banks, investors, and then you got like other businesses. You know, U.S. Today News, Pharma. You got all these things. Let alone when we talk about the Lord scattering us. When I look at this picture that I got, every day He scattered us, and all of this became our problems. Everything you see on this poster became our problem. You know, us coming to America, we didn't know that our women wasn't gonna work out, and now they getting BBLs. You know, we didn't know that we was coming here, and these people was gonna sell your body parts. And this dude, a video I should have saved, he said his father, these are Edomites, his father was going through a health thing, and he gave his father plasma, and then his son, the father, the son that gave his father plasma, his little son said, "Wow, you're doing that for dad? I want to do that for you, dad." So that son, the son that gave his father plasma, his own son gave him his plasma, and it says that helps. It helps your lifespan. So the father was 70 years old when he got the plasma from his son. It says his it's like it, from whatever records, the blood flow that they was looking at from his blood or his DNA or however they did it, because I'm not a scientist, it came back like he was 25 years younger than what he was from taking his son's plasma. So this is true. That movie Get Out they wasn't playing with you, you know? And yeah, they could do it to their own selves, but then when they're having like Peter Nagar before he got arrested, he says that a lot of Caucasians are having problem with bringing, planting seeds, being fruitful. So what do? They put a price on our melon. You know, if they had more melon, they can have babies. You know, the more their DNA, the more they live in, the more their lifespan can't last long. So they're charging a gram of our melon $439. A pair of eyeballs $1,500. The Lord scattered us. You can go to another island. Guess what? Sex trafficking is just plain. Some of the women you want to take them, and they don't know what to do, and they're just like, man, this is all I know. Little girls getting trafficked right now from America overseas, and it's a business. The Elite's doing it, the little puppets doing it, because sex sell. And when you conquer people, they taking your women. You know, that's why our women, all women, that's why any brother, I don't know however many you got, women should please their husband by covering the hell up and being more respectful by trying to be in the house. The men, they're occupied. You know, women, you're occupied as them children, because after you had them kids out that Karuchi, them kids don't want to leave you. Them kids don't want to get off the titty. Mommy, no, them kids want to be home. They want to be with you. That's kids. Women think, oh, I want to have fun. No. You got chest and what much fun can you have? Because as soon as you bounce them things about, oh, let me use a breast trainer or this and this and that. Women just want to be outside so damn bad, but your ancestors wasn't that. They wasn't. That's why women need to go to the basic. But like we said, Israel was scattered. That was the basic of this lesson. And we still on it. I said I was gonna end, but you can add more wood to the fire. For your scalp, the scalp, the scalp of your head, they are charging $620. For your skull and teeth, your skull and your teeth, they're charging 1,200. Uh, coronary, I don't know what it's saying because it's kind of a little blurry. It's 1,600. Your shoulder, one shoulder or both shoulders, is 600. The liver, they're giving 160,000. If you want money, sell your liver. Your heart, they're gonna give you 120. After you give your heart, oh, you giving that right to your kids. But this is why they take people that are dead, that just died, and they look at their health history. Hand or forearm, 400. Hand or forearm, and what that one kid said in the Maccabees. Oh, you could take my hand. The Lord just give me another one. um, your spleen, 600. Your stomach, 600. Your small intestines, 2,000. Your kidney, 262,000, and a pint of blood, 400. But did you know when you was going out, when you doing donations, they take a pint of blood for free? And most of the time you was doing donation for the Red Cross. The Red Cross profit from slavery. And small hats run that. People that got their hand in a cookie jar, like science methodologists, they're behind the Red Cross. There's a lot of things that we put our money in that's ruled by these elites. You know? And of course we buy it. You know? It's a lot, man. There's a lot you could take from this. But Lord willing, this was edifying for the ones that might watch this later. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Rakakwadash. And Lord willing, you have a good evening. Continue to believe in Yahweh Shema Shai. Till next time, see you again. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shema Shai. Barakatam.